And once you start, it's so wonderful to see who are the people that are actually interested in, right? And as you put the word out there, it reverberates and comes back to you. And your community, your tribe is like, hey girl, we see you. We've been waiting for you. Let's go. Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. You are blessed and living your best life. I am Tigim Kize, and this is my YouTube channel, a space where we are talking all things entrepreneurship, specifically looking at you who are a creative, a change maker, and looking to make impact. We know we're here to inspire, to connect, and to empower. And I'm super excited to, in one of my first official videos here on YouTube, and I say first official video in terms of like officially committing to do YouTube as like an actual thing and not like ad hoc, is in the time that I've been away from YouTube, I've started a business, this baby over here, called Mentor, which is a global mentorship network focused on supporting female social entrepreneurs. So I wanted to just jump on and share with you an update on where we are with Mentor, why I started Mentor, what the journey has been like so far, and what has happened in the past couple of months. We started in May 2020, so however many months that is. A little under a year, and I'm super excited to share with you guys. But also because we really are on this page, and the content that I'm wanting to share with you is really to inspire you to live a life of purpose, on purpose, and that you get out there. If you have a business idea that you've been sitting on for a while, that you go out there and you finally do it, that you just shoot your shot, and you never know what could happen, and you never know, what the result of that could be. So let's chat Mentor. The mentorship is a really big thing for me. I believe all the success a lot of the great success that I have has been to the benefit of having wonderful mentors in my life. People who are supportive, people who believe in me, people who see more in me than what I see in myself, and people who are always willing to speak into that which I'm becoming. And a quote that I love to use around mentorship is by John C. Crosby, and he says that a mentor is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction, right? And I've had several pushes, but I've also had the benefit of several brains that I could pick and just be like, this is what I'm thinking about. This is something in the world that bothers me. This is what I want to, and get some feedback from that. And so my journey of mentorship led me to writing a book. And one of the reasons that I wrote my book, so I wrote a book called My Hall of Mentors that I self-published in 2019. It feels long ago, 2019. Was that I was Miss South Africa's second princess for the year 2015. And before that title came, before that I was doing a lot of stuff as an entrepreneur, connecting, networking, and all of that stuff. And everything kind of came into fruition in that year and after that. And so I found myself inundated with messages from people on social media asking me like, how do you become successful? We all want to know that. But the question kind of sounded like the assumption was that I woke up and there was success overnight, right? And that's not the case. The case is I've been working, I've been grinding, but I had all these mentors in the background, my A-team of mentors that had helped me get to that particular point of realizing the success of the different things that I've been grinding on. And so that was one thing. So I thought about it and I was like, how did I get here? And so I made a list of the different lessons that I learned and who I learned those lessons from, and I shared those in my book, My Hall of Mentors. And then aside to that, as an entrepreneur, I've always been involved in business ventures in different ways, whether it's my family business in farming and in property, or whether it's been when I was in varsity with a friend of mine, we started a business which was like a comic book to inspire people to become entrepreneurs. And then I went on to work with different social enterprises, helping them with the work that they do and with nonprofits and so forth. Then I started my career as a professional speaker and doing coaching and training and things like that. And in all of that, one of the big things that came out consistently was people always looking for mentors, but especially women who are like, yes, I want to start my own business, but it's so difficult to start, or it's so difficult to grow because, darn it, like, where do you find mentors? And I thought that was like maybe a local thing because I've only been local. But when I was living and studying in the UK for like a short bit because COVID happened, I went to a couple of like women in business, women entrepreneurship kind of events. And again, just like speaking to women in those spaces, they said, it's really difficult to find a mentor, and they are wanting mentors. And while I was away, so I went away, I was living there, you can like go away, but I was living in Scotland, and I was studying a master's in social innovation, right? Because what I'm really passionate about when it comes in the sphere of entrepreneurship and everything that you could do entrepreneurially, what I'm really passionate about is a space that exists where people can do good and do well. So creating businesses that are sustainable, that have wonderful positive social impact, that are changing people's lives, that are lifting people out of poverty, that are challenging the status quo around capitalism and traditional business, and doing things differently, and people who dare to do differently, right? And so social entrepreneurship is sort of the niche of entrepreneurship that I find myself in. And so my passion for mentorship and my passion for social entrepreneurship then all came together in Mentor, which I set up specifically to support female social entrepreneurs. So whether that's a woman who has started a social enterprise, or somebody who's running a nonprofit or an NGO, and they want to transition and still have their nonprofit, but they want to figure out how to include a profit generating mechanism in their business. And it doesn't have to be high margins of profit, but it's really this idea that if you're making an impact and you have beneficiaries that are dependent on you, creating a space that allows you to be sustainable by yourself without being 100% dependent on grant funding or sponsors or CSI, corporate social investment, or corporate social responsibility. Because when those people change, when the fund manager changes and they kind of go, we're not passionate about that anymore, we're interested in this, what happens to your budget, right? And I've seen it so many times where after 3 or 4 years, the funding cycle changes, the funding motives change, and a company that used to receive 100,000 Rand from one organization no longer has that money because the mandate has changed, right? So I think it's important that when you are driving social change and social impact, and you have beneficiaries depending on you, that you build in sustainability into your business, that your beneficiaries can trust that you will be there for years to come. But also for me, my belief is that the ultimate goal of social entrepreneurship is to eradicate baseline poverty, right? So yes, there are certain things that will always require nonprofits or a social enterprise, but there's many things, especially when you consider people that are referred to as people who live in the bottom of the pyramid, which is like, I think 8 million people in the world, maybe 6. So that's people who are living in abject poverty, people who are living, I think the latest stats is like on $1 a day or something like that. And people who are still at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's like, okay, how do we get these people into a space where they have food guaranteed every day, they have shelter guaranteed, they have clothing, they've got access to healthcare, they've got access to water, sanitation, and electricity. And for me, those bottom of the pyramid baseline things are things that can be addressed, and those people can be moved from abject poverty into a better condition of living. And there are different models that we can consider in that space that allow for sustainable businesses, right? And it's all about disruption. It's about being creative, thinking outside the box, a different kind of capitalism or no capitalism. I don't know. I don't want to get into that chat. But, thinking differently about how we do business. And that, for me, is really the heart behind Mentor, wanting to support those women who are wanting to drive that social change and social impact, but also going, yes, let's connect to mentors, right? And a big part of Mentor is being able to connect women to mentors amongst themselves in their community as peer mentors. And I think that's really great if you can connect people to people in different parts of the world, because then there's no competition, and it's like a safe connection, I think people feel. But then also to connect people to like vertical mentors. So vertical mentors is like people who have the expertise that are applicable to any business, regardless of the mandates of the business. So Mentor in the last under a bit of a year, since May. So we started out last year, May 2020, we launched Mentor, and we just simply launched with an Instagram page and a series of interviews or conversations. So every Friday we have Mentor conversations where we speak to a social entrepreneur, somebody who's driving fantastic social change or social impact absolutely anywhere in the world, but also within business spaces that were helpful for our community. So we had conversations around branding, we've had conversations around how do you choose a board, around legislation stuff, we've had conversations around fashion and what's happening in the IT space and things like that. So really having multiple conversations in the space of social entrepreneurship with different change makers. And that built up, and we've had a really great growth in our community. We are up to about 600 people on our Instagram page, and that's really all we have. And also I was doing mentor while I was finishing my dissertation for my master's, so it was like, of course you don't have enough to do, just add on this other little thing, right? But I mean, I did it because I was really passionate about it, and I was like, I'm working on this, and the drive and the energy is there, so let's do it. And I once spoke to somebody who was like an executive and an entrepreneur and sat on a bunch of boards and all of these things, and I was like, oh my goodness, how do you do it, right? And a key piece of advice that they gave me that I will never forget was that they said, work when the energy to work is there. And that's such a key thing, right? Like, think about the times when you're procrastinating, and then the times when you have like bouts of energy, and instead of just like going on your phone or like doing something silly, take that bout of energy and do the work, right? So yeah, that's how we started, and we slowly grew this community of people who were tuning in every Friday to listen to our mentor conversations, but also we had great feedback from a bunch of people who wanted to volunteer as mentors. And if you're watching this and you're one of those people, thank you so much for believing in Mentor and in the vision and in what we're trying to achieve. I really appreciate it, and that's one of the things that's kept us going, and it made us kind of go like, oh my goodness, we're onto something here, right? Because the thing about being an entrepreneur and having ideas is that you actually don't know if you're onto something until you say it out loud, and then you get the feedback and you're like, oh my goodness, like this could be a thing. So thank you so much to all the people who volunteered to be mentors. And then in the journey of that year, we launched merchandise, right? So I actually don't have all my merch with me, but I've got this water bottle that we have, and this is the one thing in our merchandise set that I use a lot. Oh, the other thing I use a lot, you can't see it right now, but it's my phone grip that's at the back of my phone. I wonder if I could attempt to remove it. I'm not gonna do that. I won't play with that thing. But yeah, my phone grip that's on the back of my phone, I use that a lot. And then my water bottle, and then there's a coffee travel mug thing that you could use. And I really love these because for me, it's like, as an entrepreneur, I work on the go all the time. Obviously during lockdown, there wasn't much on the go happening, but obviously you gotta get your water in. And I like this because I don't like it when you take a cold bottle of water out the fridge and then it starts like sweating. So I really love the sleeve, and because we're a social enterprise, the environment is one of the things that we do think about, and this is from a brand that is environmentally sustainable, as is the travel mug, and I think our phone grip as well is. We also have like a bag, and we have a pen, a notebook, like a journal vibe, and I'm just trying to think what else we have that I'm forgetting. Oh, we have face masks as well because, you know, COVID. So we launched our merchandise range for people who are sitting at home going, you know, sometimes you just want something cute that makes you feel like, I'm ready to start a business. And I think about that a lot because, you know, like when you're setting up your desk or when you're thinking about when you want to work, you want to sit and work in a space and work with things that make you feel like, I'm a boss. And so that's what the merchandise is about, just to give people like a startup kit that they could buy and feel like, okay, I'm in business, I can start doing the things now. Obviously, it doesn't translate to like being in business because you just have to do the things, but it makes you feel good, and that's a good start. So we had that, and we pushed our merchandise for a while, and we were fully sold out, which is fantastic. And then we launched our social impact founders membership community, right? And this is a membership community for people who are social impact orientated and who are founders or who are part of the founding community of a particular organization. And it doesn't matter where you're coming from. You could be from a nonprofit, you could be in corporate thinking about transitioning, you could be somebody who's been running a startup or somebody who's just thinking about a startup. But the key is you're somebody who's wanting to make a social impact, who's wanting to drive social change. And so we've set up this community, and registrations are actually currently open for people who want to join our membership community. And our membership community is amazing. So we've got 12 incredible mentors from across the world. We have mentors in South Africa, mentors in Europe, mentors in the UK, and they're all coming together to share their expertise to help you as a social impact founder to start and grow the business of your dreams, but also the business that reflects the kind of change and the kind of impact that you're wanting to have in the world. And so that's our latest thing, and I'm super excited about that and growing that community. And we're gonna keep what do you call this? We're gonna keep the registrations open all of January, and we're gonna kick off in Feb with like webinars with all our mentees in the community, so you can engage and connect with each other. But then we're also gonna have specific deep dive sessions with our mentors. And the wonderful thing about our mentorship program is that you don't just get one mentor, but we actually set this up to have like a mentorship rotation, so everybody gets to engage with all our mentors, and so you get the best of everything. And because you're part of the community, even after the deep dive session, you'll always have access to that particular mentor, so you can ask them questions. So for example, so one of the early sessions we have planned is around how do you create a business strategy, and if you're in that session and you're like, this is going over my head, I'm not thinking on the kind of business that I want to do, don't even stress about it. When you're like 6 months down the line and you're ready to start with your strategy or to implement your strategy, that mentor is always available to you as being part of our community. So there's that, and then there's wonderful bonuses, so you get like 10% off of our merchandise, you get a discount on our courses that will come in the future, and just like cool stuff in the community. So if you want to know more about that, you can head over to the website, which is www.menther.com. Look at me forgetting my website. .com.co.za. Go online, you find it. Okay, and then so now we're in a new year, obviously, so it's 2021, and we're thinking about, okay, boom, how do we take this to the next level? And because we've got so much content, so many resources, and so much stuff happening, we don't want people to get confused or to feel like, I don't know where to find all this information. And so we've come up with this fantastic concept of launching a Mentor magazine, which will be a one-place resource where you can find absolutely everything. Our podcasts, our conversations with like social entrepreneurs that are doing great stuff, resources on if you're starting a social enterprise, like where do you go, who do you speak to, what are the things that you need to know, and so much more. And I'm super excited about that, and we're going to be launching that on the 8th of March, which is International Women's Day. I mean, come on, right? And that's like a project that I'm working on at the moment, and it's really like early stages. So I've had a conversation with a publication team that helps publish newspapers and magazines, and just had a conversation about what is the vision for the magazine and what do we want to achieve with the magazine. So our follow-up conversations are going to be around the layout and the columns and the various contributors and so forth, and that's a whole discussion, and getting like a quote and figuring out how much it's going to cost to get the whole thing done, and oh my gosh, right? And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's in PR, and I've been like, girl, how do I do this? And so we had a really great, just like a brainstorming back and forth, and like cool things that we could do around the launch date. So I'm gonna try, in my consistency of vlogging or just like sharing clips on YouTube, is to share that journey as well. So if you are interested in how do you launch a magazine, let me know. You can comment down below, and I'll share the journey with you. But also, if you are part of our Social Impact Founders community, or if you want to be part of the community, please let me know, like, what kind of content are you interested in? What kind of things do you need support and information on? How can we help you grow? How can I help you grow? How can I help you become the best version of yourself, to live a life of purpose, on purpose, and to create a life and business that reflects the social change and impact that you would love to have. Please go over to my social media at @Nziki_Mkhize and follow me there. Let's engage. And also go to the Mentor Instagram page. I'm actually in the process of setting up a page on like LinkedIn and Facebook, because we'll have like a private members community and all of that stuff. But find us across all social media. Tag, follow, like, let your friends know. If you know somebody who'd be really good at running a business and they're just like not thinking about it, send them our way so we can get them inspired. And yeah, I think that's everything. Mostly, I just want to say I'm really most happy and proud for just starting. Like, I mean, something as simple as getting this banner, right? I don't know if you can see the full shot. At the top it says Inspire, Connect, and Empower, and then it has our name and logo, and then a global mentorship network supporting female social entrepreneurs, and our handle. And when I did this banner, I was like, it was like a week after I told people we were gonna start Mentor, and I was like, I'm starting this business, And I was like, I don't know what to do, so I went and I got a banner. And then even the process of getting like a logo designed, you know, it's small things, but they make you feel like you're doing a lot, like you're accomplishing stuff and you're on the path, you're on the journey. And I would love to share in that journey with you and just be there for your little milestones to celebrate with you, and also to help you create the big milestones that you're looking forward to, and to also equally be there when you finally reach those big milestones and to celebrate those with you. And if you are in doubt but you have a business idea, I just want to tell you, sis, girl, start. Just start. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You don't have to be 100% clear on what you're going to do, how you're going to do. And that's the wonderful thing about starting a business, especially in implementing an MVP, so minimum viable product. I might do a video about that. Let me know if you're keen. But really just starting something that's like just the skeleton, just very streamlined, and putting out in the market, and then getting feedback and hearing from the people that you're here to serve, and finding out from them, what do they actually want from your business? What kind of products are they interested in? What kind of services do they want from you? And in that way, you save so much upfront by not spending money on something that people don't want, and you can co-create something with the people that you're here to serve. And once you start, it's so wonderful to see who are the people that are actually interested in, right? And as you put the word out there, it reverberates and comes back to you. And your community, your tribe is like, hey girl, we see you. We've been waiting for you. Let's go, right? And so I want to encourage you in that, like, you have nothing to fear, okay? It's going to be good. You're going to be amazing. And even if you fail, you would have learned something in the process that you can implement in your next business. And a great thing about starting, that you start and then you build up momentum. And once you have momentum, you're just like going, babes. You're just going. So really make this year, make 2021 the year that you finally jump in pursuit of your dreams and you do the damn thing. You heard? Do the damn thing, honey. That's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, love, and blessings.